100% about power. It's about power because all they talk about is oppression. Remember during Joe Biden's keynote speech at graduation, I was very upset with the fact that he came out the gate talking about we were oppressed. And I'm like, these 410 men are not oppressed. Maybe their families, maybe, but these 410 are not oppressed. But it's a constant, steady drumbeat of we are the victims. And it's actually really gross. I'm going to pull it up. Please, if you want to invite me to Off Code, I will gladly come on and talk about it. If not, it's okay. No shade, no shame.
No, we might have to do that for real because I keep saying it's about we negate principle for power, because the principle would be, let's say if a white person was saying, hey, we gotta support our sister, they were saying it on the basis of skin color, right? If white people are just saying, I'll use Stephen A. Smith as an example, right? There are things he's allowed to say. I'm supporting this brother because he's black, he's a brother, right? I'm supporting this coach, this player, right? If his white counterpart was on the show saying, look, I'm supporting this coach, I got to support my white brother, we got to support whites.
It won't work.
It won't work. We'd be like, that man is racist. But then we turn around and we do the same things. So it's the principle of it, or it's just about the power of it, right?
Facts.
And so, are we about principles or are we about power?
This show, I've scripted it in one direction. Chad sent me something that sent it in another direction. I'm finishing the Zoom call and now I'm all in another completely different direction. My bad. No, it's okay. I appreciate it. Because I just want, because there's not a place where we are allowing, because I couldn't have jumped out there and said, hey, y'all, what about people that don't support Kamala? Bro, they would have been at my door, my guy. It would have been at my crib. So this was just one screenshot from the Zoom call that talked about her challenges, which I was going to talk about her challenges. So this is sort of kind of maybe on code, if you will. Look at number one, because there's one in here that's really like, it's going to cause you to stop and think. She will not inherit Biden coalition. She will have to build her own. So what does that mean? So she needs a consolidator base first, Black voters, young voters, and people of color, women voters. The fact that you keep hyper segmenting, because please keep in mind, not all people group are considered in this coalition. So you need white people to play along with this. You need Hispanic 100%. Men to believe this lie that you're telling. And boy, oh boy, I don't know how they're going to pull that wool over so many people's eyes. And again, is so telling. But let's go. Look at number two. A pervasive misinformation and disinformation has done damage to her credibility among the key audiences. And this is actually where I was going to go on this evening, was going to talk about what is her track record? What has she actually done? And I keep saying it, I'll say it again on the channel. Please tell me what she's done in the last 48 months that justifies you extending her a new contract and giving her a promotion. Because effectively, she's been the assistant coach on a losing team. So you've kicked the head coach off. You got rid of the head coach. And now we are in a horse race to see if the assistant coach can get a promotion and get an extension, even though the team is losing. Tell me, what has the assistant coach done? So you're about to say something. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just me. This is how I view Kamala's career, even how she came up, right? So Facts. she came up being the side chick of a very, very powerful politician in California, Willie Brown, Facts. Right? He was the mayor of San Francisco, very, very popular politician in the state. He placed her on boards and positions that she had no business being on at a very young age, right? Because he was sleeping with her. Mm-hmm. He then endorsed her for office and she won, right? And then she became the attorney general. From there, she became senator from the same state of California. All this is being pushed by the machine she was placed in based on who she was sleeping with, right? And she did one term as a U.S. senator, and then she tried to run for president in 2020, did horrible, didn't even make it to the first primary.
Nope.
And then dropped out the race and then was hand selected to be the VP based on the fact of her skin color and her gender, right?
And so the fact she's from California.
Yeah. And so, so she's been in this seat that she really hasn't earned. And now look at her again. She's now being automatically placed in a no seat. She's moving up again for something nobody has voted this woman in here.
Nobody.
Right.
And Democrats should be upset about that.
Yeah. But here she is being hand selected and placed again. Right. That has been her path. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't accomplished anything. She has been placed based on people taking advantage of what she putting out or taking advantage of the categories of the boxes that she checked, right?
Facts. Absolutely. No, that's a great catch. And I just want to continue here. What we must redefine her before we allow them to layer her bio. And that was basically talk about her being like a human. So that's why I do think it's interesting that just on YouTube, it seems like almost organically, all these videos popping up about her going to Kwanzaa and her going to the record shop and talking about greens. I call it pandering. And of course, dude, do a search, Kamala Harris dancing. There's literal channels of her dancing.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
There's whole channels of clips of her dancing. It just seems really weird. But again, they're trying to not saying that she's not a human because she has value because Christ made her. However, they want her to be seen as somebody that's just as relatable. Again, she goes to the record store just like you go to the record store. She cooks greens just like you get your greens out the bathtub.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
And so on and so forth. Like, wait, no, I don't. Anyway, so it seems like that's what they're trying to do. So again, layer her bio and correct her record on record. And I think this is funny because they were literally talking about all the things she's done in California. I'm like, well, what about the stuff she did in DC? What about those things? Not the things in California. We'll let those be. Let's pretend like all those are right. Let's talk about what she did in DC because nobody can tell me what she's done.
Or the fact when she was a senator, she was labeled by record the most liberal and progressive senator in the Senate. So
absolutely.
That's who she is. Just listen to her talks. I mean, she's from California. She's a California progressive.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base.
We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity.
To put equity firmly at the center of our economic policy.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners.
If that's what you want in the White House, that's what you want for the rest of the country, then so be it. But don't try to rebrand her based on she could, wash her greens in the bathtub and she danced. Bruh. No.
Yo, hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian, smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it, just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian, smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it, just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.